Hello, everybody, and welcome to Always the Worst Friday podcast. Today, we're diving into Mean Girls with my co host, Mark Allen.
Whoa, you've run to last names now?
Yeah,
Hello.
there we
Oh
go.
dear.
Hi, I'm Mark.
Yeah, and
How you
Michael
doing?
Gates.
Please, Mr. Gates is fine, thank you.
And I'm Chris Hockey. I don't know, sometimes I find when I just say one name, it feels like the first name, the sentence just ends. It doesn't have the flow right. So you go,
All right.
Mark.
You mean you
You just
can't
go like,
you can't
period.
say commas?
No,
Stop, comma.
I can't do it.
Yeah, Chris is
So-
showing his age. He only speaks
Uh.
in like a telegram.
uh,
So, as
so Mean Girls.
yeah, apparently.
So today we're
Right.
looking at Mean Girls. After popular demand from last week, we got told to watch Mean Girls, and we've listened. We listened to
Yeah,
yous, and
we
we're
did.
watched Mean Girls.
Did we all enjoy it? Like, for a
Yeah.
start?
Thoroughly?
I actually enjoyed this way more than I had any right to enjoy it. Like, I didn't think I
Yes.
was going to like this whatsoever. I thought I was going to bitch and moan the whole way through, and I only bitched and moaned some of the way through. So it went well.
Well, that's nice. I mean, like,
Yeah.
it definitely is one of those movies that's not what you expect it to be from the outset. It kind of like paints itself into that corner of, oh, here we go, another teen film.
Yeah. No, I knew I was like I've been told for years that I needed to watch Mean Girls and that I would like it, and I knew that I would because it's Tina Fey. And
Yeah, She's
after
a
watching
fantastic writer.
a lot of her stuff, especially 30 Rock, 30
Yep.
Rock really hit with me. Loved it. Beautiful.
Dr. Spaceman. I fucking love. like,
Dr. Spaceman.
like Tina Fey is obviously like Saturday Night Live
Yes,
alum.
alum.
Do we
yeah.
call it? Yeah, people who
Yes.
graduated beyond that and gone on to do great things. And I'd say like her record of stuff is quite good. I mean,
Mhm.
recently I think she's kind of gone into that sort of low end film area.
Yeah, it's all like buddy films with her and Amy Poehler.
Yeah, and that's not a bad combination. They are fucking funny.
They're
What's that
brilliant.
movie where they John Cena's in it? What's that one called?
Ah,
No idea.
I don't
It's-
know. It was the one where they like go on holiday and then they end up
Yeah.
like one. Yeah,
Either way, that's
don't-
fucking hilarious. I can't remember the name of it, but watch that one.
Girlfriends or
That's good.
something like that. Who knows?
John Cena plays a drug dealer. It's fucking brilliant.
Oh wow, even better.
Why not?
We'll go through the whole back catalog at some point,
Yeah.
but yeah, today we are
Nice.
talking about Mean Girls.
Yes.
So, Mark,
Um,
you've seen Mean Girls already, haven't you?
I've seen it like maybe like 2 or 3 times. I
Okay,
think.
why don't you take us through very quickly what Mean Girls is for us?
Yeah, I mean, on its surface value, Mean Girls is about a girl called Caddy or Katie. Everyone just chooses how they want to call her because, yeah. But she was a homeschooled girl who used to live in Africa, and she's now moved over to the US with her parents, and she's going to real school for the first time. So it's all about her kind of trying to fit in with society in the school, make friends, and try to like keep her head above surface. But as it goes on, she gets into all manner of hijinks where she's kind of trying to basically deconstruct the most popular girl in the school, and for some reason just kind of ruin everyone's lives in the process.
Yeah.
It's a very interesting plot that goes
Oh, it goes
fucked up.
It goes so left turn so quickly. It's like
yeah.
when you start watching it and you realise very quickly, like, because it kicks off pretty much into that we're going to take down this popular girl, and then when that
Yeah.
starts happening, if you have a look at the times, you go, we're barely halfway through, and they're ready to
Yes.
fucking dethrone this lassie, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's the rest of this movie? And it just gets nuts. It gets so nuts.
hmm So the main thing that for me that stands out when watching this film is the fact that, like, as you say, it goes straight to the point where you're like, okay, I understand this film. Oh, it's another one where the unpopular girl is gonna try and become super beautiful and take over, and that's the moral of the story: is you got to be pretty to be liked. And then you realize that the title is not about the popular girls; it's about every girl.
Yeah.
Literally everyone in the film is a mean girl,
Yeah.
regardless of status. Like, it's an interesting like take on basically just the social elements of how young women treat each other and how they're kind of like made to feel uncomfortable in their own skin. So
Yeah.
it's, and well, all through the guise of comedy. So it's fantastic.
Because if you don't laugh, you'll cry.
Exactly.
Very much so. There was a scene in it where you talk about the idea of these like girls going through things, and it just made me think South Park. So everything kicks off nuts, and then the teacher has to just call an assembly, like every lassie in the gym right now, and they all just sit in the gym as the teachers try and talk to them, and it just feels like South Park. See that kind of really awkward assembly where they're just being wee assholes in the crowd when they're trying to really get through to them. And I was like, this is really good. Like this is.
Oh, you just jumped straight to the end there, didn't you? Like, movie's over. Let's just get to the end. No, but like, because what this film does great is, as I say, like it kind of like turns that idea on its head of what the teen movie is, because you get these characters who you're supposed to empathize with. You know, look at the new girl who doesn't really know her way in the world. You've got the kind of like loser kids who have been downtrodden and bullied and stuff. But as the plot develops, we kind of see that these downtrodden kids are just terrible people.
Yeah.
Like all they want to do is get revenge. Like so they enact this plan where they'll try and use the new girl as bait and put her into the popular girl group so that she can infiltrate and see what they're all about.
And that's the thing, is like there's obviously we're gonna start getting more into it now. There's manipulation from every side.
Yeah.
It's like obviously when she ends up joining the plastics to try and get to know them better. She's getting manipulated by Regina to, you know, start to hate things for certain reasons or for no good reason at all, and manipulated into a certain way of living. Versus with Janice, she is manipulated to be part of Janice's revenge plan.
Yeah.
And it's basically as soon as Katie came along to the school, it was, oh, this is a new girl, someone who's totally fresh meat. I can use her. She won't know the background, so let's get her in, and she's classically pretty. So let's go off that.
And then after that point, we get to see that she develops terrible personality traits herself because she wants to be with a boy. And so she gets jealous and wants to kind of like manipulate things that she gets what she wants. And so it's just this vicious cycle of everyone hurting each other.
There's sort of the intoxication of high school of like, oh, here's all the things that you never had before. Here's all the booze and the parties and the boys and the... Yeah. And she learns to be a mean girl, like it says so in the title.
Well, the thing is, I guess it's kind of like you almost see that she probably was a mean girl the entire time, but she just didn't realize.
It's that whole everyone is capable of being bad. It's just the whole mentality of letting yourself and stopping yourself.
Yeah. So we kind of get to the point where like, so when she's like part of the group, essentially now, the plastics as they call them, like she infiltrates that. We start to see that like the girls that are supposed to be like so vapid and kind of like, you know, you wouldn't really care about them, they actually have like their own personalities as well that are quite kind of like unique and fun, and it's a shame. You start feeling sorry for them when they're being torn apart from the inside out.
Except for Karen.
For Karen? Oh, I mean, she's just ditzy. Like you can't blame Karen.
I loved her the whole way through. She was one of the very few people in it that completely owned who she was. She's just like, yeah, my boobs can tell when it's raining. And she just, I'm like, I actually love you.
I've got ESPN.
Yeah.
Yes. I've got a fifth sense.
It was great because somebody said, like, you're stupid. And she's like, yeah. And they're like, no, you're not stupid. You're smart at something. She's like, no, I'm stupid. It's who I am. And I'm like, good for you. At least you fucking admit it, man.
Like, if we're talking about her best moments as well, I really love when what's her name? Gretchen, is it? Gretchen, turns up to the Halloween party, and she's like, and what are you supposed to be? You're like, I'm a mouse. Duh. It's just got like, that's all her costume is a slutty dress with a little couple of mouse ears on it. It's so fucking funny.
It's got to be the moment where she bedazzles her chest in a K, but it's backwards.
Because he sees it in the mirror.
And then when
such
she
a great character.
Amanda Seyfried was an absolute joy.
It's when she goes to the party and she's like, oh, just say his name's Chuck or whatever. Oh, Chuck's really handsome. But that's your cousin? Well, no. He's my first cousin. So you have cousins, first cousin. And it's like, seriously, don't.
That's the worst one.
And then it was just the matter. She had that little opening where she wasn't getting paid attention. Like, Chuck. And she ran away. And then you don't see her the rest of the night. I'm like, oh, it's a fucking gold.
It's so good. And then you kind of like, you realize that like Gretchen is just like suffering from like I don't know. She can't see herself properly, and she's just like takes in everyone else's opinions of her
Yeah.
like to heart, like too much.
Yeah.
Like she just needs
It's
like attention.
it's actually kind of a shame for it. She feels like she's been turned into that person because of her friend group. Like when she has her wee moments of clarity and being open and kind of being like, you know what, fuck all these people for that. You get a wee bit of who she is, where she isn't trying to be like, oh hi guys, and she starts talking a bit more normal, and
Yeah,
it's sad because then everything with her arc builds up to that, and then just she goes back to what she was very
yeah.
quickly. Which
But
is
it's like you can see the cycle of the bullying again, like from not necessarily bullying, but like bad influence.
yeah,
So like you got
Mhm.
Regina bullying Gretchen, but like at the same time, Regina's mum is kind of just letting Regina do whatever the hell she wants and is doing no job at parenting. So
oh
that kind of like explains how she
yeah,
ends up in this scenario. So it's not like everyone is like flawed, but with a reason,
yeah.
which is very unique for these kind of films.
Yeah,
Quick,
I guess we could.
on you go, Michael.
I was going to say about Gretchen. Maybe that's why she tries to know everything, is so that she can get the attention of people coming in and asking her questions and getting that attention.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Maybe.
A
Oh.
wee quick note on Amy. Is it? It's Amy Poehler.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Emmy Poehler.
She stole every scene she was in with her mum act. It's like anytime she walked in and done something, she had like maybe
I'm a cool mom.
she had like 4 lines or something in a scene, and you
Mm-hmm.
just can't stop laughing or looking at her because you're like, you have this kind of comedy timing that is just next level for like almost that awkward comedy, and she
Yeah,
does
yeah.
it so well. It's like every
What's the line where she's like they're saying is there like alcohol in the punch and she's like no 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 unless you want me to get you some.
yeah, because I'd rather
It's
you
like-
drink
Yeah.
in the house than drink outside.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Madonna was like, that's actually kind of responsible in a really bad way.
Yeah.
Like at least she's
yeah,
under
in a
her
terrible
roof.
way. But like the part where like you see like Regina say that like oh this is a really nice bedroom you've got and stuff and she's like well it used to be my parents
Yeah.
but I made them give it to me. You know, like all that kind of thing where you just realize that they just let her do anything
yeah.
at all and
Yeah.
that's why she's this monster of a person.
Yeah. So when the things really start kicking off is when she does get into the book. She finds
Oh,
out
this like
the
the
book,
mean book, yeah,
Yeah.
where they
That-
bully
Mhm.
everyone in it.
and it's when she finds out this mean book is when she can start finding dirt on Regina to take her down. And their plan. Oh, my mic's went very quiet. There we go.
Oh, you're
Is that a bit better?
Mhm.
Is this a bit better for everyone? So
Yes.
what happens with that, which is horrible, is their plan to take him down is to get her fat, make sure she loses the guy that I think she actually likes. It's like
Yeah.
when she's with him, he says it like our good qualities come out. Even though she's an absolute cunt 99% of the time, there's some good qualities about her that comes out with this guy. Like,
Harsh. Yeah.
she phones someone's mum to say that she went to Planned Parenthood because she was having a baby. Like,
yeah, yeah.
this
I
lassie-
get you.
yeah.
She is mean,
she
but
is
like,
horrible.
yeah.
But she has
But-
all these wee things, and then like, we'll take him away, we'll get rid of our pals, we'll make them rid of her. And the fact that like we're just gonna get her fat as hell. And you're like, that's so bad. Like,
But it's funny at the same
it's so
time because of
funny.
like it's just the way they like you know they tell her to go on the all carb diet because she
Yeah.
just doesn't even care because it sounds like the right kind of
Yeah.
thing. So she's only eating bread like 24/7.
and those bars that the coach gives
Like
to the
Swedish bars or
yeah,
something was
that
it?
gives
Like
them
the...
to the wrestlers to go up a weight class.
Oh, so good.
yeah.
It's there's so many like great comedy moments in this film like but at the same time it's all about other people getting hurt so it's kind
Yeah.
of like that peak level of comedy for me like other people's misery is hilarious
Yeah.
but they do it even like funnier somehow.
Yeah, it's when all the because it's this wee circle where it happens to everybody, so you never feel it's one person's getting bullied because almost everyone in this film gets their comeuppance. So
Yeah.
you get that thing where you're bad, you need to get a comeuppance, and it's like but you're bad, and then they get their comeuppance, and it's great because it means when everything kind of the dust settles,
Yeah.
you go, not one person got away with it, like with all their shenanigans, really.
Yeah, the only people who are still okay are the independent observers,
Yeah.
essentially. Actually, no. To be fair, the teachers got fucked up in the process as
Oh,
well.
yeah. I
Like,
love the head teacher.
drug dealer.
Oh,
Yeah.
I love the head teacher when he tries to talk to the lassies and then realizes
Ah.
I have nothing I could say at this moment, and just goes, "You take over. I can't do this."
Like,
I
I do enjoy his character. Like,
I think
he's
that's
just
where the beauty of Tina Fey and her writing comes into play, because he goes up and realizes he has no idea how to speak to teenage girls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
But he has that
Beautiful.
really good moment where you realise they are still kids, is when they start rioting because of all the rumours, and then he's done with it, and he comes out with a baseball bat for some reason. But it's when he goes, "Everybody shut up and get into the auditorium," but raises his voice, and it's actually that moment where it's not a very comedy feeling, where you realise they're kids, and an authority figure actually works, where they'll go, "Okay," and waddle
because
off.
wasn't it has like a throwaway line of something along the lines of like, "I didn't escape the South Side to
Yeah.
come back to this shit," or
Yeah.
something like that. It's like you can tell that he's had like a pure hard pass, and that's why he's going straight for the baseball bat. You know?
I like the fact that they had to really hone in on the drug dealing stuff, because it turned out the coach was having relations with somebody. They're like, "That was true. So because of that, we need to take every rumor in this book seriously."
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's at the point where you realize that not being able to relate to the younger girls was his actual benefit.
Oh, God,
for the
yeah.
head teacher, he was just like, you know what?
I'm not touching
You know,
this.
like, let's keep as far away from this as possible. But I do love like that whole scene where he's trying to talk to them, and it's what's it he says? It's something like he's like, "We'll keep you here all night if we have to," and she's like,
You can't keep them
keep
past 4.
It's like,
We'll keep you
well,
before.
okay. But he also has that other line that's like very similar, where he's like, "We're gonna cancel your spring fling, but I won't because I've already paid for the DJ."
Oh.
Do you know,
It's just
for me, I don't like comedy films. 9 times out of 10, I don't like
Oh.
comedies.
why?
I don't know. I've always had this issue with comedy films. It's like I tend to like stand-up comedians. I like their storytelling of just telling us a story that's funny, very quick. For some reason, I think, especially with American comedy, I think we talked about this before with that ghost comedy that we watched, based in Ireland, about the.
Oh right, yeah.
I brought it up very briefly there, but see, for an American comedy that isn't kind of like a sitcom, because I think sitcoms are small enough for me just to digest it, enjoy it, and leave it. To actually get me is quite a big thing, because I find American comedy so obvious and so on the nose that it takes away all the humour when you can work out the joke about 10 seconds before the joke happens.
Yeah.
And this didn't do that for me. It actually turned my expectations on its head. So anytime I seen an obvious setup coming, it didn't happen. It just
Yes.
kind of played it like a normal scene, and then it moved on. And I liked that, because it kept me, a hater of comedy movies in America, liking an American comedy film. But as you say, I think this is because Tina Fey has an unbelievable knack for writing very witty comedy, even though it's over the top.
It's dialogue, I think, is the important part of it. Is like, it's never like, I mean, there are jokes within this, like mostly kind of like just visual gags, but all the dialogue itself is funny, and it lands within the context of the film. You know, no one's ever doing something that's completely out of their way to make you laugh.
Yeah.
It's just very witty dialogue
Yeah.
that gets you across.
And
Yeah.
it does it really good for me. Like, it does it so well that it made me actually enjoy it.
I mean, have you seen 30 Rock at all?
Yes,
Chris?
because Donna likes 30 Rock, and I wasn't going
Yes.
to watch it at first, because I'm like, I'm not into this. I like Parks and Rec. I like my one show that I like. She went, watch it.
No.
Watched it. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with me? This is so good.
Like-
Why did I leave this for so long?
It's just that continues on that tradition of like just having such brilliant dialogue that just slides in. Like every line delivered by Alec Baldwin in that show, you're just like, how can you consistently come up with funny fucking lines for this guy that just deliver deadpan? Like,
And I think the beautiful thing about 30 Rock is you've got the right people telling the right lines,
yes,
because you've got a lot of guest actors. What's Will Arnett is one of the best examples as Devin Banks.
Yep.
Brilliant. Every line he says is gold. Like I think back to the cold pizza versus hot pizza one. So you prefer cold pizza the next day? It's the best.
It is though.
I mean, yeah.
See, the big thing with Mean Girls for me is it's a fundamental of filmmaking that I think a lot of comedies lose, and they get it perfect. Filmmaking is about people. We spoke about it yesterday. Filmmaking is about people. This film is about people, and that's what makes it funny, because it's about people. It's not about the tone or the theme of the movie around it. It's like, these people are funny because they're just exaggerated enough to not be real life, but they have enough real life qualities about them. We can all know or see or being people like this, even if it's not as extreme versions of it. And that's what makes it funny, because you can relate, where I think a lot of American comedy is so zangy and wacky that you can't relate, so it's not funny.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, like normal high school would never go to the extent of like you're going to actually sabotage someone's life by making them fat. But you would absolutely walk in and think, man, this place is like a jungle.
Yeah.
Like there's that balance.
Yeah. I think, like, also as you're saying about like people, like every character in this film has like a very unique personality, and it's amazing to see someone who's like capable of writing that diverse like crew of characters, because like it's not like there's this short casting. This is like what, maybe like 10 or so main characters, really, when you kind of boil it down. Because I mean, like, Lindsay Lohan's character of Katie is mostly kind of just there to further the plot, and it's everyone else around her that really makes everything work.
Yeah, she's a narrator.
Yeah.
She literally narrates the film with her inner monologues, which I hated at first when I was listening to them. Like, I hate an inner monologue. Just show me the film. But
again, I think that's because it's playing to the stereotypes to kind of like disarm you in a way, which is just so smart.
Yeah, because as it goes on, that inner monologue gets more twisted and kind of starts fucking with you, and you're like, oh, that's clever. Because I was like, she's actually going to tell me the whole film in her head the whole way through. I don't need that. And then
because it's almost. So I was just going to say, it's almost treating it like a nature documentary.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did like those parts where, like, because that's all she could really relate it to, because her entire life was based around living on nature reserves in Africa, and she's just like narrating them like they're chimps or something, jumping about and fighting for dominance. It's like,
they must have
good.
been brilliant scenes to film. Like, okay, you've had an argument, now I need you to act like a tiger. Rah, come on, be the tiger that you've always wanted to be.
yeah, like throw stuff across this dining hall and tear each other's hair. Like that's what we're aiming for here. That.
So, who was your favourite character in this film? Something I was thinking about. Would you say is your favourite?
It's a difficult choice because they're all so well written. I
really like the teacher, Tina Fey's Mrs. Norbury.
Norbury, I think it's Norbury.
Norbury, that's it. Yeah. Norbury. Yep.
She is like brilliant in this, because I love how like everything is like, all these girls' lives are like a total high drama. Everything's going on, but she's just like, even though she's just going through a divorce, like
she wants
everything
jobs.
like is like everything's fucking up around her, but she's just like, here, whatever, let's just fucking get on with it. Stop this.
Yeah.
Like, so because like her character in particular, like that end scene is where she like just really shines, because she takes that like everything she's suffered in life and kind of like reflects it to them and just goes, look, like, stop being awful to each other for 5 minutes and actually just deal with your issues. Like, everyone just talk to each other and maybe we can get past this. Like, it's like her life experiences kind of help resolve the entire issue. It's great.
One of the best lines in that one that she brings up, actually, for something that I think a lot of people in general need to take to heart, is she went, stop calling yourselves whores and calling everybody else whores, because it gives guys the right to call you a whore. See, that way of going, if you can treat yourself like this, you open the floodgates for everybody else to treat you like this. And I thought it was one of the moments, and as you're saying with her life experience, it was like this moment of, let's ground the film and the fact of what this film's actually about. It's about girls learning to live with each other. It's about people going through a change of becoming girls to women. Same with boys to men. of that
Mm.
transitional period where you're the worst people in the world. It's like that is because you don't know how to deal with your emotions, and that wee speech of hers was beautiful because of it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, like touching on that point as well, I think that we should kind of explain that also. Like in this film, there is no real male characters apart from a gay male, and like so
Yeah.
everyone else is like, I mean, there's the one love interest, but he's like kind of played off to the side.
He's
Like,
like just
it is-
stereotypical, just handsome, kind
Yeah.
of smart, but bland guy. It's like you never get a personality of him because
Yeah, but
he's just
that's great because it allows the women to like take the center stage and
Yeah.
like really it's about them and their lives. Like it's such a nice twist on that kind of genre because usually we kind of end up with the idea that the woman becomes like the prize for the man in these kind of teen dramas. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of like, oh, you've got to be pretty so you can get the dude, and then there you go, you won by ending up being with him somehow. I like that that's just kind of like fucking deleted from the plot pretty much as like, you know, it's the worst thing you could be doing. Yeah.
My favorite character, just before we move on, was actually
Oh.
the mathlete guy.
Ah,
I
KG.
fucking
I
loved-
forgot about him. Like
He was
he's
so
also
good.
awful.
But
he's
he's so
great.
good. He is like what you call her, Karen. He completely owns who he is, and I loved
Yeah.
his fucking rap song where he's about to say something absolutely horrendous. Like, no, that's enough. Yes,
Yeah, that's
You're
enough.
done.
Kevin.
You're
His
done.
name is Kevin. Thanks, Ina.
Yeah.
Like when he rips his shirt off in the middle of the mathlete
Yeah.
challenge and stuff. Everyone's just
Yeah.
like, "You're
I love that he gets together with the what's her name?
Janice."
Janice.
kinda?
Yeah, Janice.
Kind of
Yeah.
gets with her, and I'm like, I fucking loved it. I loved it because I'm just like, this is brilliant. This is just so good. He's like, are you part Lebanese? Because he only
It's like because he only wants to be with girls who have some sort of like ethnicity in them or
Yeah.
something. He said, "It's like he's such a like unforgiving personality. Like he just wants to be himself regardless of how it affects other people. That it kind of worked out for him in
Yeah.
the end. Like 'cause she's just kind of like, you're a bit fucked up, but like I dig it.
Yeah, there's like
fucking dig it.
absolutely no shame or guilt at all, and that just makes him indestructible.
Yeah, I mean, at the same time, it also lets you know what you're in for. If you're like, if he
Oh,
lays
yeah.
everything on the table, so she's not going to be like manipulated or construed. It's like this guy's just an awful kind of offender almost.
So one of the things I'd like to discuss about the sort of resolution of the film, and the ending of it was how so obviously everyone sort of moved on a bit and realised that what was good, what went wrong, what could have went better, etc. What's coming for the future, like the smaller plastics, etc.
Yeah.
And Regina took up lacrosse
Hockey, hockey or
Yeah.
something.
to like vent out her anger. But like leading up to that point, up to like the very last second, I was like, have we had anything on Regina and her becoming a better human? And then they're like, oh, she took up lacrosse as a thing for her anger.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, is she a better human though? Has she learned anything from this?
I think she was humiliated and humbled by getting smashed by a bus. I think
Yeah,
that's what the
that
payoff
usually
was the
does it.
joke. She was the joke because everyone else kind of like learned through actions, but she was like, "No, fuck this," and has to get hit by a bus to learn.
Yeah.
And
But that's the
doesn't
thing. She's
even
still
go
sort
well.
of, yeah.
Like she gets hit with a bus and then it's blamed on Caddy. Like
Yeah, yeah,
instantly,
but-
like you're the cunt, you pushed her.
Yeah.
I like that though. Like it kind of like because it doesn't resolve everything in a nice, neat bow in that sort of regard. It's kind of like you see that she's got some way to deal with her outlets, but she's probably still the same person at her core because of
Yeah.
her family and all that
Yeah.
kind of thing. Not everyone will learn their lessons and move on. Yeah.
I think it does. It gives you a bit of hope, though, in that after with time she will, vent enough out that she becomes a better human.
One of the best
You would hope.
parts of that was the fact that she couldn't be an asshole because the lacrosse team don't care because they're all physical girls. They're like she couldn't
Right.
overpower these people in that way because they're like, we don't care, we'll just kick the shit out of you, basically. If you start with this. And I kind of like that. It's like she got humbled in a way that she needed to because she used her status to win ahead.
Yeah.
But these people don't care about your status. They're like, can you play the game? If you can't play good enough, we'll make sure you can. And I like that. I like that was a good way to go.
Oh, do you know that? Like, I also kind of remember there's like, doesn't Gretchen kind of not really get the point as
No.
well at the end?
No,
Because she like just stands up and says like her piece, and like everyone else is just like,
Fuck you.
and just backs off,
Yeah.
and it's just Karen that has to catch
Oh,
her.
poor Karen.
Yeah.
Because she joins the. I don't know what part of Asia they're from, because I'm pretty sure they just call them the hot Asians. She joins them
Yeah.
and learns. It sounds like Korean, and you're just like,
Something? I can't really tell.
yeah.
Yeah.
And she just does that, and you're like, what?
What?
She just found a new clique to join. She was like, this'll do me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's an interesting turn. I like that though. That, like, not everything is kind of neatly wrapped up as such.
Yeah.
It's just kind of like, yeah, we
Yeah.
moved on. Essentially,
Yeah.
we're not as bad as we were.
But they've still got plenty of growing because they're still teenagers
Yeah.
at the end of the day.
They just don't want to
Yeah,
kill
yeah.
each other anymore. Is what I'm
Yeah,
taking from
I mean
it.
that's all we can hope.
That's progress, really, though, isn't it? Like
Yeah.
that's as long as they're not tearing each other apart, like either physically or mentally. It's all you can hope for.
Yeah.
But-
The other great thing about this film is it's just so quotable.
Oh God, yes.
It is one of the truly great quotable like it's up there with like Anchorman to be like, you know, not holding Anchorman to be like the holy pinnacle of comedy films, because it's
Yeah.
not. But this is such a like you can just pick lines out and they're just gold.
Yeah.
So many of them.
To put it this way, when I tweeted out about us going live, see, just finding a GIF that was fun was easy. It was easy.
Yeah.
I was like, love it. And I will admit to Donna right now, live, this has been recorded. This is never leaving the internet because it'll go on YouTube.
Oh my god.
Donna, you were right. This was a good film. And I apologise for ever doubting you.
I'm gonna after we're done here, I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna cut out every other bit of the video except that. And I'm gonna send it to you. Like every
It's like,
October 3rd, I'm
you
gonna
can just
send that to
have
you.
it on repeat. You play it and go, "You were right. You were right."
I am going to start, because Donna put it in the chat, I'm going to start just wearing pink on a Wednesday. I'm going to
Good.
fucking do it. Let's.
And do you have to watch this movie every October 3rd as well?
Yep.
Well, apparently so now. Like, there you go. You've got a one a year.
I remember
Rest of
I got CJ a T-shirt that had like it was on Wednesdays we wear pink, but it was all pink Pokemon that were on it. It was great.
Oh, that is very you guys.
combo.
Yeah.
To be fair, I just need to change my room to pink on a Wednesday.
Yes, you can do that.
So, anybody got any final thoughts on Mean Girls that would like to kind of let's share on
I
this?
mean, like,
Watch it, yo.
yeah, like that's pretty much all you can say is that you have to watch it, because like we can't do it justice by talking about it, because we can't deliver the lines as well as they do. We can't like just set up the scenes and the dialogue. Everything in this movie is like so fucking well done.
Yeah.
Like, don't
And it's-
take it on face value.
And it is aged totally fine. Like there's been no bad aging of this film at all. You could watch it now. Obviously,
we're not
I'm not
teenagers,
currently.
right?
Yeah, I'm not currently
Yeah.
in high school, so I don't
so
know.
we don't know. Yeah, but it
But-
feels timeless. But
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we watched it, and the wee one jumped in to watch it with us. Bits of it. I get some
Mhm.
bits of it is a bit adult for her, but most of it is just kind of funny. She
Yeah.
kind of got it. So I would say, in my experience of watching it with her, it is on the more timeless side of watching.
Yeah.
I mean,
because
like,
I'm watching her grow
children-
up in with kids and
yeah. Like there'll
what-
always be cruel. Like that's a fact. Like they can't
Yeah,
stop
kids
it.
are the worst.
Yeah, they are.
Why do we even have those?
Mate, I don't know how their minds can go to the places they go to. Like, how they tear each other down. I would cry for a week. I would be in
Mhm.
my bedroom for a week just fucking crying if one of them said that to me. But I can't answer you back. Like, you've just broke me.
That's why it's best to be a Karen.
Aye.
Like, you know, just so you can be like,
Yeah.
you're, like, what's going on? I don't know, but I can put my whole fist in my mouth, like that kind of thing. Like,
See, to me, always hearing the phrase "being a Karen" always sounds so
I know, like-
negative.
She's the good Karen
But-
in life.
Yeah,
she
she's the
is.
best
She
Karen.
is the good Karen, the only one we should care about.